Welcome back to our Big Brother 23 rankings. We're ranking week 5, Meg. And your boy, he salvaged his week, I think, for the most part. I mean, I still think he helped the Cookouts end game more than his, but how are you feeling after last week?
I mean, they're all kind of helping the Cookouts end game. It's really the Cookouts game at this point if they can keep themselves together. Um, the only problem I had with Derek X this week was I didn't really understand why he felt the need to tell Alyssa his plan so soon. I think it could have kept from a lot of contention in the house leading up to the veto. He should have just done it and explained himself afterwards. Kind of a rookie mistake, but I do think that he got Christian out. He's building up that resume, and he is kind of in a target position now, though.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing as well. Although the newest HOH might be a big target himself, but we'll get there. Wow, at number 11, we actually have a new bottom person.
Oh.
Because Alex and I, by the way, this is mine, yours, and Alex's scores. Days did not get to watch this week, so he did not submit his score. So it's just the three of us. But the new lowest person is Claire with the 2.2.
Yeah.
Down 6 spots, down 3.1, and just still bringing nothing to the table.
I still have her as a 5 on my list. She's just right there in the middle because I'm still waiting for her to do something awesome. I think she really does have the potential, and I don't think that she is nominated. But I really don't think that she's in an awful spot if she can survive this week.
Yeah, she needs to come off the block probably. I think if it stays the same, she's probably going home, but
She has to do something. Like, she has to win something. She has to make a move.
yeah, I don't even know what to say. I just feel like if this doesn't wake her up, is anything going to wake her up though? If she's now on the block, so maybe wake up and play better.
Yeah. My husband really likes Claire, and I just keep saying, like, she's just such a floater. Like, she's really not doing anything but following Tiffany around, and I want to see her do more. I think she has the potential. It's in her to do more. She's just not bringing it.
She's not. It's definitely Tina BB Ken for me, for sure, at this point. I just don't see her playing a winning game. And
Yeah.
honestly, our last bottom, who is now number 10, Britini, with the 2.5, up 2 spots, up 0.7. I do feel like Britini's playing a better game than Claire, Meg, even though you still have her low.
I just cannot stop seeing Britney shaking that thing on her head. Like, I can't get the image out of my brain.
That was pretty funny.
And Oz's just like commentary about like the blood. Oh my gosh, I was dying. But I'm so happy to see Britney win something. I think she really does deserve like a little piece of, like, I don't know, happiness in this game. I feel like she's just been handed a shit card and can't get herself out of it. But I'm just continuing to be very annoyed by Britney.
Yeah,
She
she
makes
does
me
still.
feel very awkward, and I don't enjoy watching her.
She still gets on my nerves some days too, but I mean, I appreciate her fighting so hard in the game, and she is. I think she went to Kyland last night, and he was considering putting her up again, but she made the deal with him, and now she's not on the block. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she'll be replaced. I don't know what Kylan's thinking this week, honestly, but
Who is his target?
exactly, I have no idea. It
Yeah.
started off as Claire, and now I don't know if he's trying to actually backdoor Alyssa or what he's doing. I have no idea. Any other thoughts on Claire or Brittany? Well, number 9 is Alyssa with a 3.0. She's up 1 spot, but only because we lost a player, and she's down 1.0.
I actually put her up a point this week, just because I think she's in a stronger position than she was when she was in a showmance. But yeah, she's still pretty. I mean, I have her even with Claire. That's how I feel about her.
Yeah, I have her, I think, tied with Brittany, but I had a Claire. Um, yeah, I agree she's in a better spot without Christian, because I mean, that's why she was kind of a target, but now she's also kind of an easy target as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I
mean,
don't think she needs to be a backdoor though.
no, me either. That's why I just feel like we'll talk about it when we get to Kyland. But with Alyssa, I mean, at least she has Xavier, I guess. I don't know if the cookout's gonna really want to make Xavier lose a person 2 times in a row. I think he will definitely fight against it, but I don't know if he can.
Does Xavier like hold more weight in the cookout or in the Kings?
Neither. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he holds some weight in the cookout because he's the probably he gets his lawyer mode and he's able to, talk to people and work issues out. But I don't know if he has the pull right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts about Alyssa. I don't think she has any potential to win. So,
Me either.
and now she'll be all alone in jury.
Buzz. Number 8, Sarah Beth, 3.2 up 3 spots, up 0.3. You had her higher. Me and Alex had her as low as Claire, almost.
SB really bothers me. I don't like that she never takes off her sunglasses, and it's really all I can focus on is I just don't understand why we need to wear sunglasses like all the time inside. It really kind of gets on my nerves, but I liked her game a little bit more this week. I can see her actually fighting and being willing to do things and go against teammates and do what she needs to do to get further. And now the fact that, Kyland's HOH and they're kind of each other's number ones at this point. I think she's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, my only issue with her is just still the same. I just feel like outside of Kyland, she's another easy target, I feel like.
She is, but I can see her. She's actually playing. I understood her reasoning for taking the $5,000, and I think in the moment I would have done the veto because I wouldn't have thought really about my decision. I would have just gone for that ultimate prize of what I was hoping to get. But I understand she knows she's not going to end up with a veto in the end. So if you can win $5,000 and not have to wear some stupid costume, why not do it? She's not going to get the veto. I don't think that was her like not fighting for it, like they were saying. So I think she's thinking. I think she's trying to play and make moves, which is why I put her up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I still don't like her game. I don't know if she's not going to grow on me by this point. Let's be real, but
that whole like turn your head and look at the camera thing though was like a nightmare. That was like a whole
yeah, it was.
It was a little creepy.
I mean, do you consider her a villain? I feel like online people are like, oh, she's in her villain era, but
I think she could be, but at this point, no. But she could grow into that role if she continues playing the way that she did this week.
Yeah, that's true. Any other thoughts on Sarah Beth? Or what do you think she needs to do to is there anybody that she can really work with outside of Kyland at this point? I mean, her and Azah get along, but Azah gets along with almost everybody except her own alliance members.
I would like to see her work a little bit more with Derek X, considering that he held up, like he was pretty honest with her about his plan last week, and she agreed and she was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. And she went along with that and he followed through with his plan. His plan worked, which ultimately kept her safe. So I think she has potential there to maybe go and try to work something with him. And I think if him and her and Kyland could hook up, you got a pretty strong trio.
True. Well, we'll move to number 7, possibly controversial, but Tiffany as a number 7 with a 4.8, down 3 spots, down 1.6. I definitely dropped her almost as low as Alyssa and Britini.
Oh, wow. Where do I have her? 5.5. I mean, yeah. She's dropping week by week for me. I think I put her down like 2.5 points lower this week than I did last time.
Yeah, I put her 3 points lower than last week because
I don't like her gameplay. And I think Derek F, while it's a little bit of an overreaction, I think he's 100% correct. It's just like You're such a bully. I said it last week when she approached Kyland and them with that whole like, I said good morning. Like, you're playing Big Brother. Why? I don't understand why she made such drama out of the Christian vote thing and like, no, you need 3. And I'm going to tell him, like, why? Why do you care that much?
Yeah, it's
Whether he goes home or Sarah Beth goes home, like, either one is fine for you. So why do you care?
yeah, all of this shows to me is just that her jury management is not good. And now
It's
that jury's
awful.
starting, it's so bad.
It's awful. And the she's treating her Cookout Alliance members this way. I mean, I would not want to be working with her either.
No, me either.
Do you think that's why Claire's up there, is because they're trying to weaken Tiffany?
I think Kyland is, yes. And I think just Kyland doesn't trust Claire, which he's right about because Claire doesn't trust Kyland, but it's a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really know what else. I said enough on my life feeds that she gets on my nerves and I hate her social game.
Oh,
It's
I
just been so messy. It's just messy and she's rude.
She started out so good for me. I really, really thought she was doing great. And I was really ranking her up there with like going to potentially be this like, historical BB player. And she just she's destroying it.
I agree. What do you think she can do to get better? I mean, it has to be her social game, but I don't think she can.
Just shut up. Like, stop talking to people. Like, stop talking down to people.
Yeah.
The whole thing with like, oh no, I called Britini up here. No, I'll wait. You don't want to be here. She could have at least put on some sort of front and was like, oh, okay, I'm glad the 2 of you are here. Let's all talk. Like, play the game, like strategically and socially. You're not. You're showing your cards. She's thinking she controls everything, which she doesn't. Yeah,
that's her biggest issue. Is she thought or was thinking she could just control everything, or she wants to control everything. But yeah, she's showing her cards, and with this attitude, it's not really working.
Yeah, agreed.
Any other thoughts of Tiffany?
No, slow down. You do too much.
I agree. I think that is an accurate spot for Tiffany. She's in the bottom middle, and I think that's where she is.
Even if she made it to the end, I don't see them voting for her to win at this point.
Yeah, she would have to really turn around her social game. Like Derek X told her last night that she needs to stop being so emotional, and she went around and did damage control. But I mean, I don't see her being able to hold it in.
Yeah.
Well, number 6 is Derek Frazier with the 5.1, up 3 spots, up 0.7.
I have him up a little bit higher.
He's still around the same for me, but I think you and Alex both had him up. I mean,
I want to see him start doing more because I think that he can, and I think it's time.
I agree. I mean, the reason I have them ahead of Tiffany, Derek Frazier, and Azah is because they did outplay Tiffany last week. That was the facts, because they're the ones that stopped the flip from happening by running up on Claire in the HOH room. So, and I'll talk more about Azah in a second because she's next. But yeah, Derek Frazier, he's on the block next to Claire, but he volunteered for Kyland's sake. His social game is good enough, but he's definitely in the middle for me too.
I did read something today that he made a comment on the feeds that if he won veto, he would use it on Claire and say it was because he didn't want to have Britini or Azah nominated. And if he really did, I mean, that is like the ultimate worst move you can make.
Yeah, that would be bad. I didn't see that.
But so
sometimes he just talks
just to talk. At that point, but that would have knocked him down like a half a point for me.
I would hope he wouldn't be serious about that.
I mean, I just feel like he cares too much about like the jokers than he does his own individual game.
Kinda. I think he just doesn't get along with Tiffany for his individual game. But I mean, she has been the shit starter in the cookout. So I don't blame him.
Yeah.
And he just needs to keep remaining calm because he did kind of blow up with Tiffany a little.
He has a great social game, though.
He does. But do you think he can get votes at the end if he doesn't have a resume?
I think it depends on who he's up against and how bitter the jury is. The jury's always bitter, let's be honest.
It's true. There's at least a few that's always bitter, if not all of them. Well, any other thoughts on Derek Frazier?
No.
Well,
I want to see how he does in veto. I think it would be amazing if he win veto, but
I want to see one of his HOH reigns. Honestly, any of the Jokers need an HOH. But yeah. Azah is next at number 5 with a 5.2, also up 3 spots, also up 0.7. It kind of seems like we all score Derek F and Azah kind of close together always, even if whether it's high or low. Azah for me, I went up a little, but I did like her move that she's the one that realized that Tiffany was trying to basically push them into taking some kind of fall. So the next day she immediately went to Christian to tell Christian he doesn't have her vote so that Christian would go to Tiffany and Claire, kind of putting the pressure on Tiffany and Claire, which is kind of what led to the little blow up that happened during the flip. But she still has fucking emotional days, unfortunately, like yesterday.
I mean, I just have the same thing to say about all of my people I rank like right there in the middle. It's just like, do more. Like there are just some players that are doing too much, and there's some that are borderline doing too much, and then there's some that I just don't feel like are doing enough. So I really just want to see her do more. I would love to see her HOH reign. What would you do?
I agree. For me, the one good thing for her that I keep repeating myself about it though, it is her social game. That the fact that she's good with a lot of people that other cookout members aren't good with, like Sarah Beth, I just think speaks to her social game. But then she's stuck in this alliance that doesn't include her in certain things. So it's like, I don't know. The women in the cookout need to
next to each other in the end. Who wins?
Azah and who?
Derek F.
Yeah, that's tough, honestly. It would depend if any of them won an HOH.
It depends on neither one of them really have a resume at this point.
Yeah. I think both of them just have to get to the end with somebody that the jury's bitter against. And at this point, there could be some of those. So it's not out of possibilities. Any other thoughts on Azah?
No.
Number 4 is Derek X with a 6.3, up 1 spot, up 0.1. We talked
down a little bit.
Yeah, I put him down a little bit more than I did last week, but I mean, he had a successful week in the end. It's just he grew his target and he just helped other people more than he helped himself. To me, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think it helps him have an argument at the end of the game for what he did. And I think getting Christian out is a great thing to have on your resume. So I don't think that that's too harmful for him. But yes, does it help other players? Yeah, it really weakened. It destroyed the royal flush, right? So like the cookout now is the only main alliance in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. He definitely has the flashiest resume in the house right now if he were to make the end. And I think he's going to get BB bucks. So he'll get a power. I don't know if it will actually help him. But I mean, it probably will because he has enemies now. Xavier wants Derek X out pretty soon. But kind of vice versa.
I think he needs to get in with like Kyland and Sarah Beth and maybe the Jokers, and they can all like go after Tiffany And because I mean, I think she's probably the weakest in the cookout right now. I could see a flip going on her. So I think that would be his best bet. But somebody at some point soon is going to have to take out some cookout members. We can't have them be the last one standing.
Yeah, I could definitely see a cookout member going in the next couple of weeks with this twist, but I mean, I don't know. He's playing a good enough game, and he just has people in this game that have used him to their advantage. That's really, and I said in one of the updates, honestly, he has two options. He needs to start really playing his own game and gather some type of his own army, or honestly, just keep being used, and then maybe you get close to the end, and then you win stuff to make the end.
I mean, do you think that he sees that do you think he thinks he's playing his own individual game?
I think he does, which is the bad thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love him.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for him too, because he's playing a good game, but the other three are just in a better position. Kinda. Our number one is questionable, but we will go to number 3, which is Kyland, the new HOH. 6.7. He was also in third place last week. He's up 0.2. I don't know. This is the second week in a row that an HOH has just came in and just feels very messy. Derek X was able to pull it together and it worked out well. But Kyland, I just think this is a bad week to be HOH. Because the main target was kind of becoming his Sarah Beth.
Yeah.
So now he has people in the cookout mad that he won the HOH because now he's not going to take a shot at Sarah Beth. So it's a whole fiasco.
But I think Kyland is very much playing his own individual game. And for him and Sarah Beth, it was the best move for him to win, considering what a big target she was turning out to be. I mean, I have Kyland ranked above Xavier because I feel like he has played in a better game so far, like well-rounded. Like Xavier's social game is really good. I think he is a strategic thinker, but I don't really see him making a whole lot of moves to make things happen or do things himself. His HOH was kind of meh, and I think Kyland has a lot more of an argument as to why he's played a better game.
I agree. I think Kyland does hold the most power right now because he kind of has been the one over the first 5 weeks. Kyland's had the most control in the game, in my opinion. Like Tiffany thinks she has at times, and Xavier maybe did for a short while, but it's definitely Kyland. But I do think he's the biggest target in the house now because he has people in the cookout annoyed with him, and he's already kind of a big target for outsiders of the cookout. So I don't know. I don't know if he needed to win this HOH.
He probably didn't. But I think now with Christian on him and Derek X are going to rise up to be the biggest targets in the house. So it's kind of inevitable.
That's true. But I also just think that since he is playing his own personal game so much now, and it's just becoming more seen to members of the cookout. But I just don't know if they'll actually take that shot at Kyland.
I think that Kyland needs to find other people in the house that he can work with, and with them has to find the cracks in the cookout and destroy them.
See, I don't think he can do that, honestly, because his target's so big. I just don't see Alyssa wanting to work with him. I don't see Claire wanting to work with him now, especially since you put Claire on the block. So he's just really in a tough spot.
Yeah. I think he can work his way out. So
I mean, I think he can too. Like every time I doubt him, he is able to work it out, but we shall see. I talked about on the live feeds the other day that if him and Sarah Beth go out on the block together in the next couple of weeks, the women of the cookout need to vote Kyland out of the game. But we'll see. Number 2 is Xavier with a 7.2, down out of first place for the first time in quite a few weeks, down 0.2. Xavier just plays a safe game, which isn't the worst thing, but I don't know.
He is not a very risky player at all.
Not at all.
And I feel like sometimes he tries too hard to put up an argument against things when he should just kind of go with the pack.
I agree. That's another problem I have with him, Kyland, and Tiffany, is they all will die on hills that they don't need to die on.
They don't need to die on. Exactly.
Azah too, honestly. Azah's more emotional hills, though. Xavier, I do think losing Christian isn't the worst thing for Xavier, but it's not great either. I do think you're right that it puts a bigger target on him or Kyland. One of them has to be the big target next to Derek X.
I mean, honestly, I feel like he needs to keep not winning because he's not really the target right now. He will become the target eventually and probably soon-ish. But I think for right now, he just needs to continue laying low. Like everybody else, I'm saying do more. And I do think that he needs to do more as far as manipulation and, you know, kind of driving people in directions that he thinks that they should go. If he can play more of a mind game type of game, like we've seen in Derek before. But I don't think that he needs to have any powers.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, he is laying low, so he is doing that because he's throwing competitions for sure.
Mm-hmm. He needs to just continue doing that. There's no reason for him to be like HOH at this point.
I agree. I mean, I still think he's in a great spot. I think I had him a little higher than Kyland. Yeah, but barely because I don't know. I don't really know what to say about Xavier. He's been playing a safe game this whole time. I don't see it changing.
Kyland called him out about the lawyer thing though. So that might kind of put a light on him soon. I think.
I mean, I think so. I think him and Kyland and Xavier are kind of filling each other out lately. I don't know if they trusted each other as much as they did.
Mm-hmm. The paranoia is setting in.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in that house for sure. Well, number 1 by quite a bit, surprisingly, is Hannah with an 8.2, up 1, up 1.4. I believe both you and I had her our highest, and then Alex had her second. She's in a great spot. I think she's definitely worked herself into a great spot. I think her social game is honestly underrated. My biggest concern for her is I don't know if she has respect in this game because of her age. So if she makes the end, she's going to have made a flashy move at some point.
I think though that she will be able to speak eloquently enough in her final arguments that she could get votes.
I agree.
Even without something super flashy. I mean, the reason I have her so high is I'm just really trying to pay attention to what she's saying and what she's talking about and the way that she's interacting with people. And I feel like her social game is great. And I think that she is doing things like that by driving people kind of in different directions and pointing them different ways. And that to me is the ultimate player. When you can convince other people to do things that benefit you, that's ultimately what you want to do. That's how you win.
Yeah, I agree. She does a very good thing of telling each cookout member that they need to keep that cookout's member the longest. So she's telling them all that, which I find funny. But yeah, I mean, I love her. She's definitely my number 1 right now. But like I said, her age seems to be a problem with some of the players. So
why? Because she's young?
Yeah.
How old is she?
21, I think.
Well, she's a hell of a lot smarter than everybody else. So
she's more mature than everybody else too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, any other thoughts on our new number 1?
Was she the one? Didn't she like finish school quickly or something? I can't remember the beginning details. Yeah, she's incredibly smart. Okay, I remember. No, I love Hannah. I think she deserves the number 1 spot this week.
I agree. I think there's some controversies in our list, but I think they're accurate because Derek, Fraser, and Azah definitely outplayed Tiffany last week. And Derek X, he saved himself, so he basically stayed around the same place. And then Kyland and Xavier, it's like which one really has control, but Kyland obviously has control, but I don't know if that's the best thing because Xavier playing safe is working for him. But then Hannah, I just feel like all around is in a good spot right now. So
Yeah, no, agreed.
all right. Well, any final thoughts on week 5 going into week 6 with a second Kyland HOH?
I mean, I'm really enjoying this season. I think this is one of the better seasons we've had in a while. So
It is. It's different because of the way the cookout plays that they don't they don't have communication because they're never in the same room. So they're close to their outsiders, and then there's a lot of infighting. It's just a lot.
yeah, I love it though.
Same. All right. Well, that does it for us this week. We shall see everybody again next week.